Hello friends, welcome to a new episode of my channel. In this video, we'll talk about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Remember, this is a 4 issue series and each issue will be released monthly. So, we all know that your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is coming out on Disney Plus on January 29th. This is the second issue of the comic, which is a prequel to the series we are going to watch on Disney Plus. The first issue was released on December 2024, and now in January, the second issue has been released. The third issue will be released next month, and so on. This is a 4 issue series, so let's dive into the second issue. So, here a little bit of recap. In the first issue, we saw that Peter's school was destroyed in an explosion caused by a gang. Nico Munro, Peter Parker's new friend, decided to investigate the matter along with Peter. During their investigation, they encountered a group of thugs known as the Enforcers. Now, the Enforcers are an old enemy of Spider-Man comics, originated from earlier Spider-Man comics. Another important note is that Uncle Ben is already dead in the storyline. There was a brief mention of Uncle Ben in the first issue, but the story skips over his death entirely. So, in this issue, we see Peter Parker participating in a boxing tournament organized by a kid named Trip in his parents' backyards. Trip calls Spider-Man to the event, but Spider-Man requested to be addressed as your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man because he thinks the term friendly neighborhood makes him less intimidating. This humorous moment reflects Peter's character here. Peter participates in the fight to earn money for his rent, as he and Aunt May are struggling financially. This struggling was also mentioned in the previous issue. So, during this match, Peter gets beaten by a fighter named Cruiser Hogan. This is the person, Cruiser Hogan. However, Peter ultimately surprises him by realizing his own strength. He throws Peter Parker throws Cruiser Hogan into the air but quickly catches him to save his life. The event amazes Peter as he hadn't fully reached his own ability. Despite his victory, Peter decides not to participate in such events again until he understands his powers better. This leads to a significant moment where Peter symbolically leaves his suit behind, recreating an iconic Spider-Man event from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies. So, a few days later, we see Peter is seen handling heavy objects like water heater with ease using his sticky fingers. This moment helps him understand the extent of his strength and inspire him to innovate. He decides to create wave shooters with self-dissolving wave fluid which dissolves after 2 hours. In many comic iterations, Spider-Man's wave fluid is designed to dissolve after an hour. So this is a slight variation. So 2 days later, here we can see Peter catches a criminal in Manhattan but faces issues with his wave fluid adhesiveness. He realizes that he needs to adjust the duration of its dissolving mechanism. So now again we are back in Queens. Here Peter interacts with his friend Nico Monroe. Nico is a relatively new character introduced in comics, but she didn't actually interact with Spider-Man ever in the comics. So in the first issue, we learn that their school was destroyed. So after their previous school was destroyed, Peter and his friends are transferred to a new school, which is named as Rockford Bells High School. This school is likely to appear in the Disney Plus series along with Aunt May and other characters such as Amadeus Cho or Webb, which is suggested by the press releases and the trailers. Now, this issue here spends some time developing the friendship between Peter and Nico with typical teenage drama and bonding. Later, we see that Peter builds a new mask, now resembling his iconic red Spider-Man look. Then we see that he uses his web fluids to save a car from crashing, and the grateful driver thanks him. Then Peter officially announces himself as your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. That night, Peter encounters with enforcers. These are the enforcers who are robbing a shop. Despite a strong start, Peter is overpowered by the enforcers members Dan, Ox, and Montana. Here, Montana damages Peter's web shooters. This person, he is known as Montana, he damages Peter's web shooters, leaving him vulnerable. And here, this person, he is known as Dan, and this person with yellow dress, he is known as Ox. Here, Peter gets beaten up very badly. Here we can see, and the issue ends with a note to be continued. So here Aunt May also appeared in a page, but I didn't mention her that much because she wasn't that much significant in today's story in this particular issue. But I think she will be very significant, and I think she will find out about Peter's secret very soon, probably in the first half of the series. So the third issue will be released in February, but before that, Disney Plus series will premiere on January 29th. The first 2 episodes will drop on that day, followed by 4 episodes the next week, another 4 for the following week, and the final 2 episodes in the last week. So, and this is the cover of third issue of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. So, if you had liked this video, I can also break down the series as well. Let me know what you think about this video, and if you haven't noticed or haven't watched the previous video, click here to check out the previous issue. Bye.